Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Z. I am a clinical psychologist specializing in adult transgender care. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to this channel or you're a regular viewer that has not yet subscribed, I would very much appreciate if you do subscribe. This way, you're not only helping support my content, but also helping others find this content with today ever-changing YouTube algorithm. So please do subscribe. It's the best way you can showcase that you support videos that I create. For today's video, I will be sharing with you why stress tends to exasperate, tends to increase gender dysphoria. And I want to be very clear, I will not be talking today about gender-related stress. Gender-related stress, such as experiencing not being seen, experiencing being misgendered, hearing in the news any kind of restrictions or bans that prevent access to care, that prevent access to resources, fear of safety in regards to gender. That type of gender-related stress, undeniably, and I think a lot of you know because you already have experienced it, is going to exasperate, is going to exponentially increase gender dysphoria. What I will be talking about is why other stressors in your life that have nothing to do with gender tend to equally increase experiencing potentially an increase, not always, but a lot of times it does, and exasperate gender dysphoria. Why does that tend to happen? And I will give you a tip what you can do to help deal with that. Stress is stress is horrible. Stress, any kind of stress, especially prolonged stress over a duration of time, is undeniably incredibly bad for physical well-being and for your health, both physical and mental health. Prolonged exposure to stress has been scientifically proven to lead to a lot of things, including health issues. People have been having gastronomical issues, high blood pressure, high levels of cortisol release in their body. It also has been led to having migraines, having a higher state of anxiety, a whole host of mental health concerns, depression, anxiety. Stress is just, I think, along with a lot of other issues right there, is incredibly detrimental to one's health. Of course, living a stress-free life, in my opinion, is impossible. We're all exposed to stress on a daily basis. We all deal with stressful situations on a daily basis, either in our personal lives or collectively as a society, as a culture. So stress is unavoidable. However, it's not the presence of stress that is so bad. It is presence of stress that is ongoing. It is the exposure to stressful situation or feeling stress over a prolonged period of time. Some people wonder, well, if you have gender dysphoria, and if, for example, you are experiencing stress at work, let's say you got a new project to work on, and there's a lot of pressure to complete it. Why would that stress at work have anything to do with the increase in your gender dysphoria? Or let's say you are a parent and you're parenting and you're so stressed from being the primary caretaker. Why would that also increase gender dysphoria? Or take other non-gender specific stressors in our lives. Why would they, even they, lead to increase in gender dysphoria? Well, one of the reasons why, and one of the biggest primary reasons, is because as human beings, we tend to have a reservoir, tend to have a certain capacity that we have within ourselves that depends on our resilience, our experiences, our mental health, our just overall psychology, our personality, depends on numerous factors. That capacity that each one of you has its own bandwidth, meaning it has its own limits to which you can deal with stressful situations. This is why some people eventually break. Some people have breakouts. People they fall apart, or some people they just completely have like a whole day to spend in a bed and they can't even get out because they have reached their limit. We all have our own limits. And when the more various types of stressors you're trying to combat, the less reservoir you'll have to combat other things. And so when you're already struggling with gender dysphoria, that means that out of your reservoir of coping abilities to cope and deal with stress, you're already devoting an X, an X amount of energy from this reservoir to deal with gender dysphoria and the effects it has on your daily life. If you also add to your life other stressors, and the more stressors are added, like I said, non-gender related stressors, the more they're added, the more you need that energetic capacity to deal with it. And if you don't have anything else to go on, if you don't have anything else in that reservoir, and let's say one day you gender dysphoria, just something happens, right? Like let's say you get maybe misgendered or something really happens, and this stress exponentially goes up. Well, you when you reach out into your reservoir to cope with it, you won't have anything left because you have reached your limit. In other words, we all have only so much within ourselves, so much energy to allocate to dealing with stressful situations. And a lot of that energy for a lot of you is already allocated to dealing with dysphoria on a daily basis, even if you're not aware of it. When you start adding other non-gender related stressors of life, and if that stressor is ongoing, it's going to take away some of the energies that you reserve into dealing with gender dysphoria. When that energy is taken away, your gender dysphoria exponentially goes up because you don't have capacity to deal with it now. Because the capacity that you would have otherwise reserved to dealing with it, you're reserving that capacity now to deal with other stressors. When stress is, like I said, prolonged, any kind of stress and ongoing, let's say one of your parents is elder and they're going through difficult health issues and they keep declining and you have to take care of them. That is ongoing exposure to stress. The more you're exposed to stress, the more you're going to also need to recharge, time to recharge your reservoir. What does recharging your reservoir means? It means taking time away from stress to give yourself time to replenish yourself, to respite, to take care of yourself. For a lot of you, you don't have that privilege. A lot of people who have ongoing exposure of stress don't have the privilege for respite. When there is no privilege and opportunity for respite, it becomes a very tight vacuum. So right now, especially in the world, there's a lot of things going on. Gender related, for sure, and a lot of incredibly stressful things going on non-gender related. Things might even get more difficult. And so people a lot of times don't understand why is it that my gender dysphoria exponentially went so high up. And this also can happen, by the way, for people who even post-transition, who have maybe experienced very minimal or none at all gender dysphoria, now wonder why it might suddenly come up to the surface. When we are under a lot of pressure and when we are very stressed, it's everything has an effect on each other. Again, every human being has their limit. All of us have our limits. Some of you more than others, some of you less than others. Again, it depends on multitude of factors, including your circumstances, your psychology, your tendencies, a lot of things. But this is why it tends to have an effect. What can you do about it? This is what the situations I'm talking about is not a situation where you can just walk away from your stressful situations. I know that. It's also not, they're not situations that where a lot of you are in a privileged position to give yourself rest, to replenish yourself, to just take a week off work. I know that that's a tremendous privilege many of us cannot afford. Here's one of the small things that you can do that will start adding back reservoir and energy to your container that helps you deal with stressful situations and it also helps you deal with increase in gender dysphoria. Two things, but they're all kind of one and the same. In the morning and in the evening, can you spend 5 to 10 minutes either meditating, sitting with yourself quietly, or follow guided meditation, taking 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out, or doing some kind of yoga movements, basic introductory beginning yoga movements. Why? Meditation and basic introductory yoga movements ground you. It makes you become very focused in the center of your being. And it forces you to be grounded, to feel more grounded within yourself. If you do this continuously for a duration of time, it starts to compound and accumulate more resilience, and your reservoir for dealing with stressful situation is going to expand. Now, is it going to make it absolutely easy to deal with stressful situation? No. Is it going to make stress go away? No. Is it going to help you, like suddenly, magically, you can deal with any kind of stress? No. But it will, over time, help you not to hit rock bottom. It will, over time, help you not completely fall apart. It will, over time, also help you manage and deal with stressful things slightly different. Sometimes all it takes is slightly different way of dealing with things for us to feel and do better. So if you right now, just like the rest of us, finding yourself that a lot of your, for example, your gender dysphoria exponentially went up because you're dealing with some other stressful situations in life, here's why. You're not meant to deal with everything. You're not meant to be a superhuman. You're not. But this is what you can do. Meditation and yoga. I don't know anybody who can't find a way to have 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Some people think they really don't have 5 to 10 minutes. And I have a strong opinion that everybody has 5 to 10 minutes. It's just a matter of how we manage our time, right? Even if you go to sleep 5 to 10 minutes later, but take this time to ground and center, that grounding and centering through yoga or meditation is going to help you even sleep better. When you sleep better, you wake up feeling better. Comment below, let me know what is your tactic, how you tend to deal when gender dysphoria exponentially goes up as a byproduct of exposure to stress. Share with others what are your tricks up your sleeve, so to speak. These are difficult times for all of us. And here's one of the things that you can definitely do. So comment below, let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.